What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another college basketball video. It is Sunday, December 7th. We've got some more college basketball action to dive into here today. We're going to be breaking down my favorite play off of this Sunday slate. But before we dive into that, we do got to jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website. After each of these videos, that's where I lay out any of the plays that I do put in officially myself. So make sure you check that out, guys. You'll find a link right down there in that pinned comment that'll send you over that way. Let's go ahead and jump over there, man. We can't recap our plays from yesterday because I am recording this one while some of those games are still live, but we do need to jump back to Friday because I was in the same boat yesterday with Saturday's video. So let's go ahead and jump over there and recap our plays from Friday night. Let's see what we put in then and how that ended up going down. Man, we had ourselves a good night Friday night. We put 3 plays in and all 3 of them cash. Took Manhattan on the money line at plus money. That was a cash. Gonzaga laying 2.5 points and they killed them. We didn't even need to take an alternate spread there. So we could have cashed. Well, I think it was at 5.5 is what they were laying. So they crushed them, man. Xavier on the money line. That one was a hit as well. So like I said, a 3-0 little mini sweep on the day. And we got a handful of plays in on Saturday that I'm feeling good about as well. So hopefully we have another good day Saturday afternoon. And I got one game that I'm looking at here today, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into that, man. Smash that like button down there for me if you can and hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's go ahead and get into the mix, man. This one's going to be tipping off at 1 p.m. Going to be looking at Kansas taking on Missouri. Now this one is at a neutral site, right at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri, but it is closer in proximity to the Kansas Jayhawks, about a 40-minute drive as compared to a 2-hour drive for the Missouri Tigers. Kansas coming into this one 6-3. They're ranked 21st in the nation. Missouri sitting at 8-1. They are not ranked currently. They're coming in off of a loss to Notre Dame, 76-71. It's also coming in off of a loss, but to UConn, 61-56. Looking at these two in the Ken Palms, we can see the Missouri's coming into this one at 25th for offensive rating, 70th for defensive rating. They're sitting at 37th overall. We look at Kansas, they're sitting at 18th overall, 59th for offensive rating, but that defensive rating, they are sitting at 10th. And here's the big thing for me when looking at both of these teams. Right off the rip, we can see a disparity in the strength of schedule, right? Look at that strength of schedule net rating in the Ken Palms. Kansas sitting at 10th. Offensive rating for strength of schedule sitting at 25th. Defensively, they face a defensive rating for their strength of schedule of 4. We look at Missouri, man, it's a totally different story. They have faced a much, much softer schedule, sitting at 363rd for strength of schedule net rating, 359th offensively, 363rd defensively. So this looks to be a good matchup on paper, don't get me wrong, but right there, that's alarming to me, that big disparity in the schedules that they faced so far this season. And that 6-3 record for Kansas starts to not look as bad compared to that Missouri sitting at 8-1 when you consider who they have faced so far and who they've beaten as well. Let's jump over to Outlier real quick and look at these two on the course of the season so far. We can see Missouri coming off of that loss on the road to Notre Dame, like I said, but that is a team that we've seen Kansas also go on the road and come out with the victory, right? We look at the rest of the schedule and they haven't really faced anybody too impressive quite yet. But you look at Kansas and they've got some good wins under their belt. Tennessee, Syracuse, Notre Dame, and their losses are coming to tough squads. Connecticut, Duke, North Carolina. So let's try to break this down and look at, where each team may have an advantage against the other team. I'm looking at Missouri first. And, looking at them, they do have a lot of offensive firepower. They rank high in the Ken Palms, like I said, and they're shooting the ball well. Second in the nation for field goal percentage, sitting at 54%. They're also shooting the ball well beyond the arc, just under 38%. That is 37th in the nation. And they're coming in at 90 points per game, 21st in the nation. But if you look at Kansas defensively, man, and they're pretty stout, right? 64 points per game is all they're allowing. That's 25th across the nation. They're giving up just 37% shooting from the field, 23rd, and just 24% shooting from beyond the arc. That is 5th in the nation. Now, Missouri's got a senior forward in Mark Mitchell who's coming in, their leading scorer, averaging 18 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. He's getting to the free throw line over 8 times a game as well. And Jacob Cruz has been big for them off the bench. He's become a pretty serious scoring threat, right? And he's shooting 49% from 3, making just under 3 3-pointers per game. So, he can come in and just really shift things and shake things up pretty quickly, right? But Kansas brings a lot of experience into this one, man. Bill Self's teams are really built for these type of rivalry games, these neutral site type of games, man. Jayhawks are going to look to use their size advantage in this game, particularly with Badunga, that center that they have, averaging 15 points per game. That matchup between him and Missouri's Sean Phillips is going to be vital in this one, man. But I think that he has the upper hand in that matchup. And there's also the return of Darren Peterson that we got to talk about, their freshman phenom guard. He significantly swings the favor into to their advantage, in my opinion. He's such a massive boost to their offensive prowess and just their scoring ability in general. Just a dynamic playmaker, man. So with his return, I really like Kansas in this one. And there's that revenge factor as well, man. Kansas did lose last year in this rivalry game. So, they're looking for some get back here in this one. So, to me, end of the day, Kansas is just the better team overall here. Missouri could get hot from deep, and that's the concern here, right? But I think Kansas is strong enough on the perimeter defensively, and that return of Darren Peterson really swings things in their favor offensively. I think that they have enough offensive firepower to contend with Missouri's offensive firepower, and they have the better defense of the two. I think with this being closer to them, proximity wise and their fan base, I think that really plays into things here as well in this rivalry type of game. So I like Kansas laying the points in this one. That's the direction that I'd be leaning. Guys, that is going to do it for today. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to do it, man. Hope you guys have yourselves a great Sunday. Hope you cash out in all the plays that you put in today. And I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.